September 1st, 1859, an extraordinary event took place. British astronomer Richard Carrington, when observing sunspots, found in a large group of sunspots on the north side of the Sun, suddenly an extremely bright white light appeared. Just a few minutes after Carrington observed the island, Greenwich Observatory and Jiwu Observatory. It measured dramatic changes in the strength of the geomagnetic field. At the same time, the telegraph systems in Europe and North America also. There was a major malfunction, even catch fire. And this historical event is the Carrington Incident. The Carrington Incident make people aware of the horrors of the Sun. In fact, our Sun seems calm, but actually, it is a dynamic and turbulent star. His surface is a tumbling mass of plasma. There are frequent bursts of violent activity above. The Sun's activity occurs on an 11-year cycle. It's called the solar cycle. During this period, its activity has increased or decreased since systematic observations began in 1755. We are currently in the 25th recorded cycle. Its peak solar activity. According to astronomers' observations, the intensity and early peak of the current solar cycle exceeded expectations. The peak was initially expected to occur in July 2025. There are approximately 115 sunspots. The revised forecast now anticipates a peak appear between January and October 2024. It is estimated that there are between 137 and 173 sunspots. This means that the Sun's activity has reached its peak, and the upcoming solar activity period, it is expected to bring solar spots, increases in sunspots and solar mass ejections. Although this period will occur, spectacular aurora phenomenon, but it also poses significant risks to our lives, such as powerful radiation bursts like solar medicine, can disrupt radio communications, and pose a risk to satellites and astronauts. Solar mass ejection can move hundreds of millions of tons of solar objects, quality or above, hundreds of kilometers per second ejected from the surface of the Sun. It also carries the powerful magnetic field energy of the Sun. Once it hits the Earth, triggers disturbances in the geomagnetic field. A geomagnetic explosion in the Carrington Incident of 1895 exploded in history, the strongest fourth storm ever recorded. Fortunately, this disaster happened in 1895. And if it happens now, then the consequences will be catastrophic for us. For example, global communication will be completely lost. Navigation failure. Even the power grid system is completely paralyzed and burned down. Therefore, in people, after realizing the dire consequences of solar eruptions, to counter the threat posed by solar storms, scientists are also constantly developing technologies to mitigate its impact. This includes increased monitoring of solar activity, develop and improve predictive models to predict the occurrence and likelihood of solar storms, impact on the Earth, or by the power grid, satellite communication, aerospace systems, etc. Reinforcement of infrastructure. Although these measures cannot prevent the occurrence of solar storms, but it can be significantly reduced. Their impact on human society and the impact of technological infrastructure